Good morning. This morning's practice is all about rest and perhaps helping to switch our perspectives or remind us how powerful rest can be in terms of helping us recover from injury, in terms of helping us build our stores so we have some energy in the tank. Rest is just such an amazing tool that we have. And I wonder if it is underutilized or undervalued um, in the worlds of physical rehab and in the worlds of gaining strength, flexibility, mobility. So, also in yoga. So, in order to make gains, in order to build strength, in order to increase your range of motion, in order to move throughout your day and your world with efficiency, our systems must be in a state of relaxation. There must be some downtime. And then from relaxation, from that base of relaxation, from that base of quiet and calm in our systems, we are more able to feel our bodies. So there's better mind body connection. There's increased possibility of neuromuscular connections to be strong and fluid. From that base of relaxation, then we have a great opportunity to retrain. So we have the opportunity to modify, to retrain. And once we've retrained a certain neuromuscular pathway or a certain awareness, a certain mind body awareness, then we start to refine. And then always, always, always looping around in this healing pathway of relax, retrain, refine. And we just keep going. We just keep going. But the relaxation is the key. Where I see myself and lots of the people I work with, they're living in a different circle. They're living, let's say, over here in a circle of push, of almost false energy. Push through, get stronger, work harder, and then when we're living in this place of pushing, of having to work hard to make gains, they just don't come. And the intentions are great to work hard to get results. I mean, it makes sense on a certain level. But in this world of our physical bodies and the change that is possible, it just doesn't work. That's not true. It works, but it takes longer and it's harder. So let's try a resting practice this morning. We're very prop heavy on this practice. So you will need, I have 2 blankets here, kind of set up lengthwise on my mat. They're about an inch high. So we'll be laying on those for one of our positions today. You'll need 2 bolsters or just something thick, some couch cushions or lots of throw pillows that you can prop under your legs. I use a couple of blocks, so that would help as well. And then lastly, you'll need a pillow for under your head. So let's get started with our restful practice. This will be a quiet practice this morning. And I've done enough talking, haven't I? So to begin, we'll start on the 2 blankets that I showed you that are just about an inch thick, laying out on your mat. I'd like your back and most of your legs to be supported on these blankets. And we're going to come into a really gentle back bend. So laying down on these blankets so that the top edge of the blanket hits just about the bottom of your breastbone, bottom of your sternum. Anyone who wears a bra, it's about bra line height. So you can rest back there. So having your hips and your legs a little bit higher than your head. Arms can rest on your belly, or you can let them relax down wide. And we rest here. We'll be spending 4 minutes or so in each position. And the effort, let's say, in this practice is to try and do a little bit less with each breath. Really follow your next 3 breaths here. Stay easy. Doing less. And gently preparing to move into our next posture. Gently preparing to move. So you can roll over onto your side and just lift yourself up to a seated position. You can remove the extra blankets that were under you for our gentle back bend to open. And then setting up for another reclined pose, bringing your bolsters or your blankets on either side of your legs. And I bring my blocks in for an extra little lift under the bolsters, and we're coming into reclined cobbler's pose. So laying back once again. Knees can be bent, feet coming together, and then let your knees come wide, your legs come wide, so that the soles of your feet are pressing in against each other, and the outsides of your thighs are resting on the bolsters or the blankets or whatever you have propped up. In terms of how high or how much propping up you'll need, I'd like you to be in a position where your legs can come wide away from one another, and to a point or in a range where you're not feeling any stretch sensation on the inner leg. Okay, so just an easy opening, feet resting together, the soles of your feet resting together, and you're at a range where you can fully accept the support beside you. Then arms can come down to rest. And again, we're into the practice of doing less. With each breath, a little less physical effort. As your body rests, you may find that your mind perhaps even gets a little bit busier. Or at least as your body rests, there's kind of space in your awareness to notice how busy your mind is, how frequent and persistent the thoughts are. So if you notice that, see if you can do a little less in this domain, in the cognitive domain, by focusing on your breath. So in the physical domain, with each breath, we try to do a little less. Let go of any holding. Let our physical bodies really and truly accept the support of the props and your yoga mat beneath you. And in the cognitive realm, we do a little less by trying to focus on breath. Just track your breath. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. And if your mind heads off in another direction, following another train of thought, then just kind of smile and acknowledge yourself when you notice that you're off on a thought adventure. Just shift that thought back to your breath. Final 3 breaths here. Do a little less with each breath. Stay easy. Stay here. And then let's gently move into our next position. If you do have a bolster, you can keep one of them for our next position. Rolling gently off to the side. And bringing the bolster across your mat, so horizontally across your mat. And this is where you'll need your pillow up at the top. We're going to come into lying on our sides over the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use blankets and roll them up and lay over the blanket. You can use couch cushions kind of folded over and lay over those as well. So coming down into this next position, whatever you're laying over will be up right in the middle of your rib cage. So that as you slowly let yourself lower down over, your torso needs to bend to the side so that you can come and rest your head on your pillow. And as we land here, take the time that you need to settle, to adjust, to be unapologetically comfortable. Once you're feeling comfort, then return to your breath. In both the physical and cognitive domains, the effort comes, the challenge in today's practice is to do just a little bit less. Hold just a little bit less. Letting the only thing that you need to do, really, is breathe. Resting in this breath. And this one. And in this one. savoring, experiencing, staying here for the final 3 breaths. And as we begin to just switch to the other side, consider how you can do this transition with as little effort, physical effort as possible, with as much of the spirit of rest as possible. So you can just roll over to the other side if you like. I'll switch around so that I'm still facing you. So bolsters along the side of your rib cage. Lower arm is between your bolster and your blanket. And then down you come, settling over the roll. If there's discomfort, then certainly shift, change your position, lower the height of the roll, increase the height of the pillow under your head. But always doing so, see if you can move through those actions to create more comfort with a little less urgency, with a little less rush. And then settling, settling, settling. Notice your breath. Feel your breath move through your body. And with each breath, if you notice there's anything extra, there's any extra striving or holding, and see if you can just do a little less of that. Body and mind doing a little less. With your breath as their guide. Let your next 3 breaths in this pose be the easiest, the most restful breaths. And then as gently, as slowly perhaps as possible, can press yourself up. Bolster can come out of the way. And we'll move gently and easily into our final pose for today. If you've got a chair, or I've got a couch nearby down at the foot of my mat that I'll use to bring my legs up onto the couch, so my hips and knees are at about 90 degrees. If you don't have a chair or a couch available, then just prop up your blankets or bolsters that you've had and lay with your legs supported up over your squishy things. If you do have a couch handy or a chair, just resting your legs up on the couch. Sorry for some of you on Facebook Live, I've cut the bottom half of me off here. Just could not get the camera angle. Nevertheless, legs are resting up, back is supported. And we rest, enjoy the final few moments in this practice. Again, the only challenge is to feel your breath and let yourself do a little bit less physically with each breath. And if your mind is having some difficulty doing a little less, just each time you notice, Acknowledge that. And give your mind a focus of breath. Each breath is an opportunity to notice and allow a little more ease. In this final posture of this practice, really notice the next 5 breaths. Resting with each breath. And then you can certainly remain in this posture after those 5 breaths. When you are complete, though, when this practice feels complete for you, see if you can stay in that resting place as you come out of the pose, and give yourself a moment before you head off into the rest of your day to feel the results of rest in your system. How are you feeling having spent half an hour doing a whole lot of resting? Whatever you are up to next, notice how the action of rest delivers a result. It has an impact on how you are for the rest of your day. And I surely hope you enjoy the rest of that day. Thanks for watching. I will see you back here next week. Bye.